It's really not. It's really, look, you know where I'm here. And this ain't for no ploy, this ain't for no ticket sales, this ain't for no, Cinderella story. It's to win football games.
McCaffrey split out wide to the right. Newton takes the snap, and he is in for a Panthers touchdown.
Hey, if you don't know me, my name is Keith. I do Black Quarterback Series, where we do black quarterbacks all the time. If you haven't seen my video of like my season outlook on what I think Cam's going to do this year, I'm going to leave that link right up at the top of the card. But let's get into this week. We can't start nowhere but in Arizona with Carolina versus Arizona. So, Carolina versus Arizona, the game would have been way more compelling if D-Hop and Kyler Murray didn't play. But it set the stage for D-Hop, and, well, it didn't set the stage for them, but it set the stage for the Carolina Panthers to have one of those Cinderella games, right? So, by Cinderella games, I mean Cam played out of his mind to begin a second stint in Carolina. Cam's 3 for 4, 8 yards passing, a touchdown, 3 carries, 14 yards, and a touchdown. Now, the numbers don't seem like this crazy, but you got to think about the circumstances leading up to this moment. He was released by Carolina. He sat on the bench for so long because it was a COVID season. Got signed by New England the next year. Played decent enough to make the playoffs, but had COVID and kind of fell out with the Patriots, kind of, and couldn't really lead that team to the playoffs, considering they literally had nothing. Didn't have nothing. They ended the season, I think, 7-9. Didn't make the playoffs for the first time since I think like 2011 when Matt Castle was there and Tom got hurt. So they re-signed Cam. Then they end up drafting Mac Jones. We all thinking Mac Jones is gonna be the heir apparent next year. They end up releasing Cam after lying about saying they was gonna start Cam, and so Cam's released. And that was nothing but a hardship for New England. He gets released, and so it's rumors that he might go back to Carolina, but nobody was sure. So Sam Darnold plays like Sam Darnold, and Cam's back. Cam's back, and with I think like 3 days of practice, he ran those plays. Now those plays are probably already in the playbook, but the fact Cam executed them like that. Granted, they were in the red zone, but it's like, y'all seen the play. I've shown the play already. It just speaks to a bigger thing of like, it's just amazing, the storybook that we're watching right now when it comes to Cam. It was great to watch, and I know it's kind of weird for me to say I don't want to be racial, but it's funny how we tend to throw away black quarterbacks when they're not spectacular anymore. But we continue to have the Sam Darnolds, the Nathan Peterman, the Josh Rosens, the Matt Barkleys, the Matt Liners. The list goes on and on. But we'll throw away some of the best black quarterbacks when they're not elite anymore. Michael Vick is an example, but Michael Vick was injury prone. Cam Newton's one of those examples that just because he's not prototypical, that you're going to throw him away. You're not going to throw him away now because now you have to respect him. If they win these next 3 games and they're in like, what would that be, week 12, week 13? If they're in week 12, week 13 with 9 wins, it's going to get murky because their schedule, really the only teams that I can see them losing to on their schedule is probably Tom. and time is sliding right now, so they might be able to pick those games up. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they look. So I'm interested to see them how they look. And I want to give a big shout out to PJ Walker. PJ Walker didn't hold his head down. He put on the Good Samaritan cap and balled out. 22 for 29, 167 yards and an interception. Now, granted, he didn't play like high-level football, but he could have cracked under the pressure because we all know who's next. Like Cam taking pictures with Robbie Anderson. Like I said in the video before this one, if you haven't seen it, link was at the top. I'll put it back at the top, and I'll put it at the end of the video too. This is the greatest group of receivers Cam has ever had. And then if you can keep C-Mac healthy, you got a really, really dangerous offense. And if that defense is going to play with the swagger that they played with yesterday, man, I'm saying yesterday because I'm recording this Monday. If they can play with their swagger that they played, they can go on Eli Manning 2011 type run. Now I'm not saying this just because of one game, but when you look at the energy that was reverberated through the locker room and everything. Now, granted, they were playing Arizona without their quarterback and their best receiver, but that doesn't mean you get blown out. You know, so it remains to be seen. I can't wait till next week. It's gonna be great to watch. And he gets to play Ron Rivera, his old coach. So it's really gonna be dope to see. It's gonna be dope to see. It's gonna be dope to watch, and I just can't wait. So that's all I have on Carolina. So that's all I have on Carolina. So let's go ahead and knock out Dallas. I'll be real with y'all. Once it got to 31-3, I stopped watching. I went to get ready for the week. Dallas did what we thought they was going to do, and I think I said this earlier. I think I said this last week. They played Dallas, or Dallas plays Atlanta. They're going to get back right. Dak Prescott was 21 for 31, 296 yards and 2 touchdowns. Blowout as expected. Didn't expect much. I expected it to go the way it went. Now, CeeDee Lamb was kind of hurt. That's concerning. But other than that, it went how I expected it to go. But what I didn't expect to go the way it went was Russ. Wilson was 20 for 40, 161 yards, and 2 interceptions. Green Bay had, now, this has nothing to do with Russell Wilson, but Green Bay had almost 400 yards in total offense. I think it was like 396, right? That's not going to cut it for a Seattle defense. That's not going to cut it. That's a lot of offense. And Russ was pressing it, trying to get back. Obviously, you can tell he's still kind of hurt, dealing with that finger. Everybody knows when you like get a surgery or like your finger hurts or something really, really hurts, it's still healing. So any type of like touch on it is real, real tender. And I can only imagine how like constant ramming on it and running around and fall. I can only imagine how that hurts. So he might have came back early. I think they should shut him down for the season. I think it's a wrap for this season. You're not getting back in the division. You're just not. You're not going to get back in the division. I think they're 3-6. It's over. You're not going to get back in the division, and I don't think you can even win a wild card unless you get 2 wild cards coming out the NFC West, which I don't think they're good enough to get there. So they might want to think about shutting Russ Wilson down for the season. I would strongly consider it. Another good game that we had this week that I didn't think was going to be really good is Jalen Hurts versus Teddy Bridgewater. Jalen Hurts was 16 for 29, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. And Devontae Smith had 2 touchdowns. They were a very well-balanced offense, from what I saw. They were very well-balanced. It kind of looked like they was doing what I wanted them to do all the time. You are a running team, act like it. Be a running team, but they also put the wrinkle in where that run set up the pass now. So you get Devontae Smith scoring 2 touchdowns now. One on a really great pass, and the one is on a straight slant that Jalen put it on him. It was really, really good. I like the offense. I love the way the offense is moving. I don't know what's going on with Denver. I know y'all traded. I know you guys traded Von Miller, but come on, that's Philadelphia. You should have put on a better performance than that, offensively and defensively. So, and on the offensive end, Teddy Bridgewater was 26 for 36 for 220 yards. That's it. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Teddy Bridgewater has to be better. He has to be better. I know he's a game manager. I understand that he's a game manager, and he wants to be put in a position to be successful. But at some point, you got to go get it. Y'all know on Madden that there's this thing on Madden called Superstar X Factor. With the Superstar X Factor, you can do stuff that other people can't. Like Lamar has chugs where he can't fumble and he can truck people. What's his name? Mahomes has bazooka where he can throw 20 further yards down the field, so he can throw like 100 yards at will. There's another one where you can't throw interceptions. Jalen Hurts has these X factors. It might not be a superstar X factor, but Jalen Hurts has these X factors. Teddy Bridgewater doesn't have an X factor, and that's the problem with Teddy Bridgewater. He doesn't have an X factor, because I feel if he had an X factor, they would have stayed in this game. Now, say what you want about Jalen Hurts. He can't throw the ball down the field. He's a runner. He got replaced by Tua in Alabama. He has an X factor, obviously, or else he wouldn't have came back from all the adversity he's went through. So, for me, that's other than the defense playing phenomenal. Other than that, Jalen Hurts just got it done because he's a superstar. Not a superstar yet, but if he keep playing like he will be. He raises kind of like I said about Cam, he raises the elevation of his team. And I don't know if people realize that, but that's Jalen does it. Like, this team, I think, has 4 wins. Like, they shouldn't have 4 wins. This team is awful. This Eagles team is awful. But Jalen got 4 wins. So you got to have something you do great. Jalen is a great runner. Lamar's a great runner. I got Mahomes. He's a great passer of the ball, and he just makes plays that don't nobody else know how to make. What does Teddy Bridgewater do that can't nobody else do? I've seen him do stuff that can't nobody else do, but he's not consistent enough. There's nothing wrong with being a career backup. There's nothing wrong with that. But I expect more from Teddy. That's why I'd be disappointed when he does this. So, let me know if I'm wrong. Maybe it's the receivers. I know they have some injuries going on over there. So let me know if I'm wrong. Is it Teddy? Is it the receivers? Is it the offensive scheme? I don't know. So just let me know. Okay. So I think we have one more because a lot of people didn't play, and it's the Dolphins were also on a bye week, and I think Jacoby Brissett's not starting anymore, so I'm not covering them. And if you didn't see my Ravens review, I believe that link at the top too. I recorded that right after Thursday night went off. So we have Kansas City. So Kansas City, they got back to what they do. They got back to what they do best, which is throw the ball over. Which is throw the ball all over the yard and get it done. Mahomes was 35 for 50, 406 yards, 5 touchdowns. Masterful first drive, and after that first drive, they just really got it going. So, man, a little bit of adversity this game. Some passes he threw, you're like, Mahomes, what are you doing? But for the most part, he played well. They had a running game for the first time. And I think I've said this. I say this like maybe once a season they got a running game. But they're the opposite of Philly. Where I say Philly needs to run the ball because that's what they're good at. My homeboy and them, they need to run the ball and change it up. So instead of doing what you know best, you got to change it up a little bit. That's what I think. But overall, they played well. They played how we expected them to play at the beginning of the season. And you look up, and they're 6-4. After going through everything they went through, they're 6-4. I think they're like 4th or 5th in the AFC. firmly in the playoffs, firmly in the Super Bowl playoff chase. And it's just crazy that we thought the season was over. But you look up, they lead in the division, and only a couple teams are better than them in the conference, and it's just like, wow. This is like, wow, how did y'all get here? How did y'all get here? So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Like I said, if you want to check out some of my videos that you missed last week, my Cam Newton review of the whole season for Carolina, it'll be right here. And if you want to check out the Lamar James, I don't know who Lamar James is, the Lamar Jackson video, click here and check that out. So thanks for watching. We had a lot to talk about this week, and I can't wait to see more storylines develop as this season gets on. We in the meat of it, baby. I'll talk to y'all next week. Or I'll talk to y'all sometime this week. I'm sure something's going to happen. Peace.
Future, hopefully. And I just want to thank you guys again, man. Card Nation, I wouldn't be anything without you guys. And, man, I love you all, man. Thank you, guys.